Hey folks, it's Rob Flux here with another Real Deal in the Field. I'm here with Andrew. He is actually the husband of one of my staff members, but he's also a builder, and we're here in his site, which is a 1:2 townhouse project in Newcastle, in Georgetown. Is that right?
Correct, Georgetown.
There you go, mate. So a lot of interesting things we're going to learn out of this story. Firstly, we can see just over the corner is the house that you've actually retained, and the townhouse that you've actually built here. But that wasn't the original plan when you picked up the site, was it?
No, correct. The original plan when I picked up the site was to demolish the original front house and build 3 attached terraces.
And did you not do that because it didn't fit, or just because it didn't make money?
It made money, but doing the feasibility on retaining the front cottage, having intrinsic value, and then building a freestanding townhouse out the back, the feasibility works better on those numbers.
Yeah, so really key term there, folks, intrinsic value. The existing house costs money to knock down, costs money to then build again, and it already had some value. And so just by keeping that and carving it off, you save a heck of a lot of money in that process, and you don't have to build again, and you can carve that off pretty quick.
Correct.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about the site. We're on a corner site here, so everyone loves a corner block. Tell us what's the zoning, what's the land size?
It's an R3 zoning. It's a 495 square metre block of dirt, and it's got an FSR of 0.9.
So it's a teeny tiny site, but because it's R3, for those of you not in New South Wales, that gives you medium density capabilities, and 0.9 coverage means you can get most of the block actually covered, which means even though it's a small block, you can actually get a decent sized home in here.
Correct.
Yeah. So now with the existing home, obviously keeping that alive while you're running this one, renting that out.
Renting it out.
Any hassles at all with your neighbour?
Well, it's an interesting tenant. He's look, being that it's quite original inside, and the owner, the previous owner was a smoker, and so every wall and ceiling is completely yellow. So we did have some issues renting it out. But look, the good news is the new tenant, he loves his marijuana, so
he's just adding to the flavour.
He's just adding to the flavour, exactly.
Yeah, very good. That's something that's really easy to clean up. I guess people that are hoarders, people that smokers, that sort of thing, that changes, I guess, the perceived value when you're buying the raw site in the first place. But people like you and I can see through that. Now, I guess when others went to the auction and that sort of thing, nobody else interested in it? Nobody else
interested. I turned up at the auction. There was 4 registered bidders, and I'm the only one that bid. So I put in a cheeky offer, and it was accepted.
So nobody bid. So
nobody bid.
Did you just throw the low ball in there, and that's what they took?
Low balled it. The property then got passed in, and we negotiated privately.
And I guess I love it when those situations happen, folks. And the reason I love it is real estate agents keep telling you, oh, we want to see what the market's telling us, right? And then when it gets handed in at the end, you can throw that back at the agent and go, well, the market's telling you that it ain't worth much.
Correct.
So did you use that to your advantage, mate? How much more did you sneak in there?
I came up a little bit from what the last bid was, but I had a figure in mind, and I wasn't budging. And it was a family wanting to sell because the mother had moved on to a nursing home, so they needed to sell on that day.
Motivated sellers. So now we touched on before, I guess, the fact that you kept it with intrinsic value, and you only got 2 versus 3. I just wanted to let everyone know, highest and best use, folks, is not necessarily the most amount of density. Okay, it's the most amount of money with the least amount of hassle in the least amount of time. And in this instance, keeping the house was the least amount of hassle. Did it improve your timelines or anything like that?
It does improve the timelines because, I'm not having to demolish the existing home, and I'm building 1 single home instead of 3 attached terraces.
So the cost of construction is way less. And I'm sure that impacted the revenue a little bit. But what it meant is bigger backyard, so more opportunity to create a bigger house in the back. Now, in coming to market and going to actually talk to the agents when you're coming up with the design, you told me about a really interesting concept where this was originally going to be a 3-bedroom, 2 garage, but you changed your mind on that. Why was that?
Correct. Look, I went back to the agent after I received the design and asked him opinion about the design and did it fit the market. And we came up with the idea to delete one of the garages and put add a bedroom on the ground floor with ensuite.
So just repurposing that same area, What was his feedback with regards to the difference in price point from changing it to a 3-bedder to a 4-bedder, even though you're losing the garage?
It would have increased the sale price around $100,000.
Around 100,000. So not bad for the cost of really one ensuite and one wall. So now you're a builder, right? So I guess there's always the love out there for owner builders, or I guess people doing their own builder development type projects. What's your competitive advantage in this process, mate?
My competitive advantage is that I get to build at a wholesale cost instead of retail. So you're removing that typical 20% margin.
That was the big question that everyone was wanting on their ass. How much is the builder actually making? How hard can we squeeze them, mate? So now, in talking to you a little bit before, you haven't been factoring that extra margin into your feasibilities, though, have you?
Correct.
But you are now, aren't you?
It's a little bit cheeky, but I should be, yes.
Yes, well, good. That was the extra bedroom achieved by losing one garage. This is the kitchen dining area. There's a study nook. Little lounge area. There's another study nook. And some more bedrooms. Another ensuite. Walk-in robe. And the main bathroom. Hey folks, we've just come out onto the street because we wanted to talk about one potential challenge that you might be facing on your particular projects. In this instance, we had a perfect run here, but street tree in the middle of, I guess, the footpath, blocking the facade of the property. But if you have a look down the road, there's a number of other street trees. So whenever you're doing this, you've got to start to think about how do we actually access driveways and that sort of thing. Now, in this instance, we didn't have just the street tree, but we also had a power pole to actually be cognizant of. And by the time you give some room for the power pole and room around the tree roots and that sort of thing, you need to have a wide enough driveway. So did that factor into your design at all?
It did. It did factor into the design, and as part of because it's a Torrens titled subdivision, we also need to create a driveway for the front house, and that will eventually mean demolishing this lean-to at the back here you can see, and then creating a carport and building a driveway.
So had to navigate around the other tree as well. So luckily in this instance, the trees were perfectly positioned, and so didn't necessarily need an application to council to remove those. But if you're looking at your projects, folks, don't forget anything that's on the nature strip can and will be protected by council. Mate, been fantastic. Looking forward to seeing the full real deal when we actually present at one of our upcoming meetups. Folks, we run these meetups all the way around the country. We run them in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. You can turn up physically, and we also live stream, so you can turn up wherever you want. And soon we're going to come to Perth. So folks, if you're in Perth, reach out, put some chats on the thing, and encourage us to come. Till then, folks, can't wait. See you then. Bye.